Hello everybody, what's going down and what's happening? My name is Sonja Marie with Wordlife Astrology, here to give you some transit astrological information for the week of what? It's November 18th, 2024. I'm so happy to be here with you. Listen, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me, found us. And if you are repeating or returning, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. You keep this channel going. For sure, for sure. Please remember that this information pertains to all signs because this is a transit report. But how you take it, depending on what your particular natal chart is going through, how you take it is totally different. But this is the energy that's coming through, boo-boo. So what you gonna do with it? A few quick announcements before we get started on the week. I know a few of you have been waiting for me to announce our 8th annual retreat. Well, let me tell you something. Spirit said, And it's a backstory in which I will do my best to explain in a whole nother situation and a whole nother time. But when it wasn't panning out for us, I took that as a sign. And Spirit said to me just recently, do something different. So I have something very, very dope coming down the pipe. And here's a hint. It involves everything. Every single thing that I do and love. And all those that do and love the things that I love and do will be there too. That's the hint. Do you get it? Hopefully, if you do, put it in the comments. Let me see if you're close. Another quick announcement is, if you don't know, I do individual readings. Yep. As well as couple readings. Like for you and your mom, or for you and your dad, you and your children, you and your parents. Whoever, you and your best friends, I love doing couple readings. So if you want to engage in either one, an individual reading or a couple read, please hit up my website at wordlifeastrology.com/readings. Okie dokie schmokies. And as the holiday season is approaching, I want to give you one more quick announcement. Please, and very, 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 very please, give someone my awesome book, The Signs, an Astrological Memoir. The reason why it's so awesome is because I don't just talk about how the sun signs show up in your life. I talk about how the signs, the sun signs, and its power shows up in everybody's lives. Yep. With stories of my own life. Like for real, we are incorporated, or I should say all 12 signs are incorporated within us. We just got to know how to pick it apart and where what energy lies. You can get a reading. Hit me up. I'll let you know. All right, y'all. Enough of that. Let's get down to the week. Today is Monday, yep, and the moon is in Cancer. We always talk about where the moon is because the moon denotes our mood, okay? So if the moon is in Cancer and you don't like Cancer energy, meaning that you are Aries or you are a Capricorn and you are a Libra, and this mood, this moon is forcing you to be watery, it's forcing you to be emotional, it's forcing you to be patient, it's forcing you to be nurturing and nourishing, a little bit more compassionate, you might have a problem with this moon. This is what I mean by transits, because if the moon is in a particular sign like Cancer, you're going to fight it and go against wanting to stay home, go against wanting to eat a lot, going against wanting to be nourishing, or you just going to go with it because that's the order of the day. I'm just letting you know. All right? That's how this reading goes down. Also today, on Monday, Mercury, which is the sign of communication, is in opposition to Jupiter as it goes retrograde. So Mercury, being in the sign of Sagittarius, is opposition to Jupiter. Jupiter being in Gemini, but it is going retrograde. So my little notes I put right here. Put your mind on the opportunities that you thought that you missed out on, and possibly come up with a different kind of plan. Now, what that looks like, Mercury in opposition to Jupiter. In every opposition, there's an opportunity to bring balance to something. That's what oppositions mean. So if the brain is telling you to do one thing, or the intellectual energy of the day, which is Monday, is in Sag and is saying to think quick, think like an adventure, think in big terms. Mercury in Sagittarius always thinks about the bigger picture. Doesn't necessarily know how to get there in details, but it says we can come up with a glorious plan. Yeah. Well, the opposition to that is Jupiter and Gemini going, wait, hold on. I know you got this glorious plan, but we don't have the opportunities right now, boo-boo. I know you got this big ass adventure that's going on in your brain, but Jupiter's like, we're slowed down. There's not too many blessings coming in this regard. It's not too many opportunities. It's not too many ways to evolve with this sort of thought process. So you might want to wait and get some kind of balance. Now, what that can mean today is maybe stowing away these thoughts that you have, these big ideas that you have. Not to say that they will never, ever come to fruition, but possibly maybe write them down. Dream big today. Talk about it today. Get your resources and get and do some research. Sagittarius energy loves research, by the way. Get some research on a thing. And then Jupiter says, as you fill up that cup, we will bring balance to those thoughts and the communication that you had and all the things that you want to say and put things in order. We'll bring balance to that as opportunities make their way. They're not going to come quick and fast. So that means keep with the research, and the opportunities and the possibilities will meet the research and will meet whatever it is you got going on in your brain in due time. Trust in divine timing, okay? Do yourself a favor today and don't overtalk your blessings. Meaning don't promise, I'm gonna do when it's not even there. All right? That might not serve you in the end. Just cuidado. Also today, the sun, which is in Scorpio still, is trining Neptune in Pisces. Now, this is awesome because it allows us to continue to imagine, about that big picture plan that Mercury is scheming up. Look at that. And how they alley-ooped one another, right? Anybody know about alley-oop basketball? You feed the ball to the other person and they take the ball and put it in the hoop. If, right, our thoughts are on Mercury, Sagittarius, big picture, and it's saying it's bringing some kind of balance with Jupiter. Well, with the sun trining, bringing harmony to our imagination, it's saying this is awesome. Stay with the imagination, because the more you imagine, the more you expound on what's unseen, the more you can bring balance and call in the manifestation of the opportunities when it's time. You know, Jupiter's gonna go direct in January, and everybody knows from now until January, probably like the second week of January, nobody's doing too much of nothing. So watch the opportunities find you. Don't really get your face hurt or your feelings hurt about opportunities and blessings that seem to be dwindling and they're not right there right now. They're still there on the peripheral. It's time for you to get your head right, for you to get the information straight. And with Neptune involved on this particular day, it's time to imagine more. It's time to bring the things into fruition, manifest the things. Have a great meditation session today, Monday evening, if you can. It would benefit you highly. It's allowing us to open up our mind even more. We are evolving at such a rapid rate, y'all. I can't even really describe it. And one day Spirit is going to give it all to me. I just know it. But we are moving fast. So the more inspiration that we can have during these gnarly times that beg to take away our inspiration, that beg to leave us depressed and not feeling good about ourselves, our lives, our country, our neighborhood. We need this imagination to keep us going. So fall into it today if you can. I'd appreciate that. I bet you would too. On Tuesday, it's a big day, y'all. Y'all ready? Well, the moon is going to still be in Cancer. So it's about feeling this thing. It's about feeling everything. And in particular, on Tuesday, Pluto goes into Aquarius until January 19th, 2044. Yes, Pluto has made its tour through Capricorn and will end it tomorrow on Tuesday. Now, If you haven't seen my live on IG, I'm going to do a quick little backstory. I've done tons of video here on YouTube about Pluto in Capricorn. So if you want to research and go back some, please, I encourage you to do that, because it's a lot of information in which we, in my opinion, could benefit from going over the last 20 years or so. So since 2008, Pluto has been in Capricorn. Pluto is destruction, destroying all things Capricorn, like systems, outworn systems, like political systems, like superiority, inferiority, about certain things and people and situations that have been in authority for so long needs to demolish, go away. Even those things inside of us, those rules, those traditions that we held on so long for ourselves, they can be like rituals you do every day. They can be the rituals that you do when you're in love. They can be the type of parent that you are. They can be how you conduct yourself at work or as an entrepreneur or whatever. These things are changing. They are leaving. I definitely made mention for a really long time on IG. One of the things that hit me real quick when I was on there, and I'm going to repeat it, is the change in capitalism. The change in capitalism. Absolutely, and I said it twice for a reason. Absolutely on how we spend, how we buy, how we become uber freaking ambitious to reach the top of the mountain. All of that is leaving. All of that wants to go. All of that has said, thank you. You have served your purpose. Now it's time to build. Now it's time to gain power. Now it's time to gain new systems. Now it's time to gain new authoritative figures when it comes to Aquarian energy. Because Pluto goes into Aquarius, like I said, until January 19th, 2044. It's about taking on the power of humanity. And understand this. As I run these things down, all the things in which the power and or the structure is not solid and proven to be one with spirit will fall away. Okay? Meaning that when it comes to our relationships, let's just say, when it comes to our friendships, our alliances, when it comes to groups and organizations, if we are solid in our friendships, if we have gone through a period in which we released a lot of friends and we have learned ourselves better, in order for us to attract new, different types of friends based on who we are, we'll do that thing when Pluto goes into Aquarius. However, though, if you are the type of person that's been holding on to tried and true friendships and alliances that you know damn well that haven't been working for you, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, you will be found out. They will be found out. The gig is up. The jig is up, as they like to say. So understand that even though Pluto promotes a lot of things, humanity, friendships, communities, organizations, if there are weak areas in these areas of your life, they will be destroyed and they will be made anew. So humanity, if we are not stepping on the right side of humanity, things will be destroyed and will be made anew. How about innovations and inventions, things that are being invented for the good of the whole, things that are being invented for the people, to evolve the people, will be highlighted. Anything that cannot will be destroyed. Understand this. Pluto in Aquarius is a big deal because, again, it's going to dictate our lifestyle for the next 20 some odd years. All right. It's going to dictate how we move, how we transform, how we eradicate situations in our lives and create other situations in our lives. In an Aquarius vibration, it says we can't be attached to any emotional situations that go on. Whatever needs to be destroyed needs to go. So if you feel like things are moving in a way in which is building up some things, destroying others, and there's no real, I'm just gonna check y'all on this. There's no real need to cry about it. Please don't question your sense of emotionality. And I say that because I recently got that download that Over the weekend, I just heard that many people will think, not only for myself, but for a lot of people, that there's this separation and this weird sense of not caring and or, again, just being detached and not overly connected, or I should say not connected in a way in which you feel like saving another, right? Because Aquarius doesn't deal on that level. Aquarius not only deals with individualism, but also community. But Aquarius says, yo, you got to handle this and figure it out on your own. I'm not trying to run you. I really am trying to build up these systems so we can all learn how to run ourselves. That's what Pluto and Aquarius is all about. There's so much to talk about with Pluto and Aquarius, and more will start to reveal itself, of course, as we live out this era. But I want you to keep this in the forefront of your mind, okay? That Pluto and Aquarius is about evolving us all. And if there are areas in your life that you're trying to keep secret, and the areas in your life that you don't want to be exposed because you think, I don't know, you're going to be found out in some kind of way, honestly, it's a countdown because it's going to happen. So you might as well have the control on how it's exposed. Everything and everybody is being exposed in a new vibration when Pluto gets in Aquarius, but it's going to happen. But there is a levity. There is a levity that's happening too on the bright side of this. It's all bright side in my opinion, but on the obvious bright side of this Pluto and Aquarius, because we're no longer fighting the systems. They're literally going to have to fall into place. You cannot fight or push up against evolution. Bottom line, point blank. And without getting too political, I'm going to end it just like that. If you have any questions or any comments that you want to add to what I'm not saying, please do it in the comments below and we'll go for it. Let's talk about it. Okay, now on Wednesday, the moon goes into Leo. Pay attention to that because, again, the moon governs how we feel, how we express ourselves, and our connection with women, okay? Specifically, our mothers. But when the moon goes into Leo, we wake up feeling, on a general level, courageous, willful. We know we're going to do a thing. We get our moxie, they say. The moon in Leo is about generosity as well. So if you feel generous on that day, it's not going up against nature, that's for sure, or the stars. You know, generosity is a beautiful thing. And I like to say that generosity only has one rule. Give from your heart without expecting anything in return. So if you fall into that space, just give and watch the universe provide for you, okay? When you least expect it. All right. Now, there seems to be a little theme about inspiration this week. So let me just gloss over this, but make sure it's a real point. On Wednesday, the moon will trine Neptune. On Wednesday, the moon will also trine the sun. This is a beautiful thing. This is a real beautiful thing in some way because, again, whenever Neptune is involved, it brings in the light of imagination. Whenever Neptune is involved, it brings in the light of escapism. Yeah, confusion, delusion, drugs and alcoholism, but dreams too. Neptune is about that thing that can be very, very elusive, but can be also pointed when it comes to spirit talking to you, when your intuition is talking to you. So be keen on Wednesday to what is being said to you through the ethers, from your ancestors and your guides, because what really, really wants to happen is that they want you to shine in it. With that sun getting into place, it wants you to shine all the inspiration, all the imagination, even the things that you don't know is coming in some way. You know how to shine with that, right? I mean, I don't know, leave it in the comments, but does anybody know how to walk the earth, shining without knowing exactly what's happening? Being in the moment, understanding that you are always protected and guided. That is shining where you are, because there are unseen forces that are taking care of you and carrying you to places, from places that you didn't even know about. On Wednesday, it says, can you get a lot of that on you? I want you to get that with the moon trining Neptune. I want you to get that with the moon trining the sun. Shine in this imagination and this etherealness that always keeps you leaping and bounding. Is that a way of describing that? I don't know. But in my mind, I just heard Neptune. I saw Neptune and heard all the angels go, we're just picking y'all up, putting y'all one place, picking y'all up, putting y'all over here, picking y'all up and putting y'all over here. Safekeeping. And sometimes we don't even know when that's happening. How about that? Thank your ancestors right now for safekeeping. But the reason why this is so beautiful, that we are being thrusted into safekeeping on Wednesday, because at the same time, something happens. It cuts through the veil, and the moon is going to conjunct Mars that day. Come on now. So that means all the feelings that you feel, that willful feeling that you feel, that Leo is bringing on in, that took from Neptune, that shining through the sun with, yo, Mars says, I got it. Let's go. Take it and move with it. Take it, create with it. Take it, start something with it. Take it and innovate, right? Take it and change a project all around and make it your own. Wednesday is a dope day, y'all. When that moon is conjuncting Mars, it's like, all right, we got our marching orders. And because Mars is in Leo, it ain't gonna stop. It's not asking questions. It says, once the imagination, the intuition, the things come through from spirit, crosses the veil, and they tell me to do a thing, I'm moving. I ask you very lightly and trepidatiously, because I don't want y'all emailing me, but truly listen to whatever comes through on that day. Pray on it, whatever comes through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because they're giving you the marching orders. And Mars says, let's go. Here's a window to do what your heart desires, even if you think it's crazy. It's time to be the fool. Be that fool, y'all. Jump. You got it. On Thursday, the moon stays in Leo, that's for sure. And then the sun will go into Sag. Yep, it's Sagittarius season starting on Thursday at 2:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love that. And the moon in Leo, sun in Sag, there's a good feeling of a party that's about to happen. That's all I know. Look, plan as many parties as you can during the Sag season, please, because Sag energy loves parties and get-togethers and exploring and game nights and shit talking and research and good debates. You understand? And bending of the minds and the intellect. Like Sag loves that. Sag is a seeker of knowledge. Sag is the teacher as well as the student. Sag is very, very optimistic. So there are times where you feel like you want to slide in the dumps or whatever. Force yourself out of it. Whether you go to the store and buy your favorite ice cream, or you go walk down the block for 2 minutes or so, shake yourself out of it, because the sun in Sag says, listen, we don't have time for that. We have to find the possibilities. The sun in Sag says, look for all the possibilities that's about to happen in your life now. And I guarantee it will keep you afloat. It will keep you smiling. Oh, the sweet sister, I forget her name on the top of my tongue. She was talking about laughter today being the medicine. And it absolutely is. We all know that. We all know that, but sometimes we get a little too brooding and we don't want to laugh. Or sometimes we have survivor's guilt and don't feel like we should laugh because everybody else is feeling bad. And I don't know if I should laugh because I don't feel that bad, but I really do need something to get me going. And I don't know if I should laugh because they're feeling bad. I don't want to laugh in front of them. Like, we need laughter. We need joy. We need humor. Sag is about to bring it. Y'all know and fun fact, I've done a lot of research. I told a couple of my clients this. You know, most comedians have some type of Sag placement, whether they have a sun sign Sag, rising, or moon, or Mercury. They have some kind of Sag placement because Sagittarius energy says we're not going to worry about a thing. Sagittarius says there's always a better day. Sagittarius says that there's always a will. There's always a solution. Sagittarius energy even says, listen, if we got to eat some of the consequences and the repercussions, we will, but we're going to get to a happy side. Stay there, okay? With that sun going into Sag for a little while. We need this little energetic shift. Don't you agree? On Friday, the moon goes into Virgo. We love when the moon goes into Virgo on some level because it keeps us what? Astute, on time. In particular circumstances, we need to be aware of everything. That's Virgo energy for you. So do your best to stay, again, on time. Do your best to stay in the line of your compartments and how you are dealing with life on that day. It can absolutely save your emotions. But also on Friday, Venus sextiles Saturn, going retrograde. I like that this is going down because in the middle of this imaginative week, in the middle of this very transformative, living in a different era type of week, Venus says to Saturn, listen, I want you to start examining the value, the worth, the money that you got in your pocket, the beautiful things and the possessions that you own. I want you to start evaluating that and see what's worth it. See what you need around for your spiritual discipline. See what you need in this next stage in life. And not to just minimize, although that's included, but minimize in a way in which whatever stays helps you move forward, helps you to evolve, helps you to build your spiritual fortitude, helps you to become more compassionate, right? Again, this Saturn and Pisces I've been harping on. And if you want to see the value of that, pay attention to Friday. Why have we been talking about that? Because possibly maybe your meditations will come into play on Friday. Somebody will ensue an argument or something, and your practices will keep you calm, and you'll be able to respond to a person in a way in which you never thought you would before. Right? Because why? Your Pisces and Saturn, or the Pisces and Saturn, has been working for you. You'll see the value in it per Venus. You dig that? Or money will come because you've been holding tight. You've been staying disciplined. You get that? You've been staying in alignment of what you know you're worth. Money can come in that way because you held tight. You understand? I'm telling you honestly, y'all, this time is a mud walk. We are literally walking through the mud. But if we keep our mind's eye on our North Node, our North Star, our light, spirit, our ancestors, our guides, even if the mud is coming up to our waist, to our breasts, to our necks, our eyes are up here. As long as we are focused on what's valuable, on what's worthy in this moment in time, and especially because we've been dealing with Saturn and Pisces, that has been worthy for us to keep prayers on our lips and God in our heart. That's what that Saturn and Pisces is saying. As long as we've been in that mode, we are walking through this mud successfully. It doesn't matter how close it's up to your neck. It doesn't matter how tired you are. Are you alive? And do you still have God on the forefront of your mind? On Saturday, there aren't any big aspects going on, but the moon will stay in Virgo. That's taking over the whole day. So if you're like me and you need to clean your house, do a deep clean, maybe that's a good day to do it. Virgo loves to work. By the way, Virgo can outwork any other sign in the zodiac. Now, don't get your ego all in a bunch and say they can't outwork me. Virgos don't. Don't even get started, because you know Virgos work to the T, to the bone, to the period. So if the moon is in Virgo on that day, regardless of what sign you are, utilize that energy to get some things done, in particular, very meticulously, to clean. When we clean meticulously, don't we? I mean, some of us do. On Sunday, the final day of this week, the moon will stay in Virgo. You'll have it for another day if you want to clean on Sunday. But I think we should make notice of a few aspects that's happening that day that may or might not intrude in this moon in Virgo field. The moon will square Mercury on that day, which means that, the moon's perfection in being in Virgo will possibly go up against somebody else's declaration, somebody else's thoughts, even your own, possibly, maybe. Maybe you are doing things, but in your mind, you're thinking that's not perfect enough. In your mind, you're thinking that's not right. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, maybe I should start over. In your mind, you get frozen because you're like, I don't want to do it anymore because what if they're not going to like me? What if it's not going to be perfect? truly, hold yourself on that day and be graceful with yourself, because some things may not be perfect and some things are working towards perfection in their own way. And allow it, okay? Without criticizing yourself on that day or allowing anybody else, for that matter, to criticize you as well. Also on Sunday, that moon in Virgo, that hypercritical moon, wants to square Jupiter going retrograde. So you may get in your thoughts. You may get in your worrisomeness with that moon being in Virgo about the lack of perfection when it comes to your opportunities. Well, my opportunities didn't show up like they did last time. Oh my God, when he offered me that job before, he came with this other dude. He didn't come this time. Maybe he's not going to give me the job. Oh my God, when they called me for this house before, they called me from Nevada. They didn't call me from New York. Maybe I don't have the house. Maybe I didn't get the house. All I'm saying is that these little particular things that you may have kept in your mind about what's perfect, what's right, what needs to be done, what's in a particular category, what should be critical and what should be discerned, may not even come into play. Like truly, your opportunities are going to find you with or without that weird worry of perfection. Okay, don't do that for yourself on Sunday. Try to release on Sunday. The meditation for Sunday is, I am not my thoughts. Okay, please and very please. Reverend Jason says that all the time. I am not my thoughts. From ODBC, y'all should get down on our daily prayer call. Check them out on Facebook, okay? But yeah, that's that. But understand this though. With those two contrary kind of aspects, the moon squaring Mercury and the moon squaring Jupiter, there's a very interesting Hail Mary in the middle of this day. The moon will be trining Uranus, going retrograde. Now, the reason why I love this Hail Mary, so to speak, because even though we are fighting our thoughts and the thoughts of other people, possibly, maybe, even though, again, going to get into arguments because of that, and because they have pulled back an opportunity possibly, or they don't see the worth in the opportunity, whatever the case may be, there's a need, a harmonious need to change in the middle of this day. Meaning that if things don't go your way, if things are not showing up in the perfect way, if things are not showing up in order like you think they should show up on that day, Uranus says, look for the switch up, boo-boo. Look for the pivot. Look for the sudden blessing. Look for the sudden reprieve. Oh, actually, it worked out better because it didn't come out this way. Maybe I should have been a little bit more patient. God got me. My prayer recently, y'all, has been, if things need to leave me, if things need to go, if things need to change, like that or better, God. Like that or better. That is a prayer for Sunday, because things will be switched up. You may be thinking something other than what it is you deem to be important or your blessing. But the Uranian conversation on Sunday is like this or better, God. Because if things are changing without my control, I just pray that you got me in mind to bring things to me in a way that I can approve of and in a way that will make my life even better. Ashe. Alright? So look for the switch ups. They coming, they coming, they coming, they coming. Wow. I know this card is purposeful because we've never had this card come up before, at least on my rundowns for show. So I say this with all the love in my heart, that it is time to melt the ice, y'all. Come out of this isolation. In our society, men in particular have been taught not to cry, to put a brave face on things when we get hurt or not show that we are in pain. But women can fall in this trap too. And all of us at one time or another might feel that the only way to survive is to close off our feelings and emotions so we can't be hurt again. If our pain is particularly deep, we might even try to hide it from ourselves. This can make us frozen, rigid, because deep down we know that with one small break in the ice, it will free the hurt to start circulating through us again. The rainbow-colored tears on this person's face hold the key to breaking out of this isolation. The tears, and only the tears, have the power to melt the ice. It's okay to cry, and there is no reason for you to feel ashamed of your tears. Crying helps us to let go of pain, allows us to be gentle with ourselves, and finally helps us to heal. Ashe. I say this often. I am a Cancer sun, and I believe in tears. I believe in the expression of tears and the releasing of emotions. It's healthy and it's necessary. However, on some level and intuitively, I understand why we all got this card. I think a lot of us are doing our best to be strong. A lot of us are doing our best to put on a positive face and or be faithful within this time that is literally out of our control and always is out of our control. And somehow our emotions, regardless of what they may be, fear, if they're fright, if it's anger, our emotions have a way of hardening and allowing us to appear to be something that we're not. When our insides, when our heart, when the tenderized spaces within our soul wants to express, it cannot due to this hardened exterior. The only real way, in my opinion, and I hear this constantly, that we are going to survive in this new space is to be more open, is to be more vulnerable, is to melt this rigidity, thank you, of hardness around us, to let it go and show ourselves fully, completely, and discern who is worthy of being in our space and who is not. But we have to be 105, y'all. We gotta be 105. Don't let them take control of who you are by abandoning your spirit. If you have to, release all of these calcified thoughts and feelings and anxiety with your tears this week, okay? So you can be born anew. It's time to show them your soft sides. And those that can't rock with it must kick rocks. I love y'all. I really, really do. And I love me. I love this life that I lead. And I just want us to be the best that we can be. All right? I hope you liked this podcast. And I hope it was beneficial for you. Take care, all right? Adios.